Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Awakening Her podcast. How are you doing today, my friend? My name is Talia Joy. Welcome, welcome. I'm a guide, a space holder, life coach, intuitive, human on the journey, here for personal growth, manifestation, lots of magic, emotional healing, and really creating freedom, really, in all the ways. If you really boil it down, right? We want financial freedom, to feel free in our life, free in our body, free in our expression, free in all the ways. Anyway, we talk about personal transformation and sprinkle in the magic as we go. So I am very excited for this episode, although it's one that it's not necessarily vulnerable, but it's just really true, if that makes sense, to myself in a vulnerable way. So I'm sharing with you today some of the things that I have been unlearning. But before we get to that, I wanted to mention my book has been released. If you have not grabbed it, please go over to Amazon. The link is below. Grab your copy. Thank you so much for the support. It is such a good book. It's got short chapters, potent words, codes written within it. It is so good. If you're on this journey of growth and transformation, manifestation, healing, all the things that you're really here for, this is the guidebook that you need, that you're going to laugh and maybe shed a tear. Who knows? We're going to go through the journey together. So grab that copy, and I am so excited. And I just know in the ups and downs and the laughter and the irony and all that, you're going to feel seen. You're going to feel supported. It's really a guide to life, and I'll leave it at that. I'm really, really excited. I've had such good feedback, so thank you guys. And to everybody that's ordered a copy, please write a review on Amazon. It goes so far. If you could do that like today, that would be awesome. Tomorrow's fine too, whenever. It helps so much. And share it. Share with a friend if you really found it helpful, or if you're just diving in and you're seeing yourself in it. It's so good. I can't even talk about it without beaming and smiling ear to ear. Okay, so as I said, this episode is about what I am unlearning. And I notice, if you guys have been following along, some of you that have been listening, I've been sharing about how, 2025 was just a stripped down goo, pain, healing, rebirth situation. And now that I am quote unquote out the other side, and why I say quote unquote all the time is because we say these words, but I'm not really out the other side, because we are always changing and evolving. And as we shed, we also move into our next level, right? But 2025 was definitely a car wash, a cleansing, a painful time. At the end, I had great power and clarity, and it really was an insane cycle. So I notice now that I am on this other side of what I was going through. I'm definitely more in a shedding, in an embodying phase. And so yes, there are big steps moving forward. I released a book. I'm hosting my next retreat. I did my first retreat in 2025. Big steps. But the shift in my energy is the biggest thing that I notice. And so now that I'm, living and embodying this next level compared to what I was in 2025, as I said, it's a shedding, it's a relearning. And so I've noticed that I could say, come here and say the things I'm learning, but it's this different energy. It's like I am unlearning things right now, and that's what feels so good. So we're going to go through this in the episode, because I feel like if I've been going through it, you're going to see yourself in this, because that's why we're in this journey together. That tends to happen, right? So in this season, I'm not just adding more tools and adding more practices. I'm actually simplifying. As I was saying in the ground down to rise up, it's this more grounded energy. It's not so much about fixing, it's more unlearning. And yes, there are times when it's dramatic, but it's not so much for me right now in the dramatic, burn it all down, that's it. It's quiet realizations. It's, oh yeah, that mechanism that used to keep me safe, we can release that now. We can move in a new direction. That doesn't fit with where I feel that I'm headed, or where, that next level is, or who I truly am. So this is what I'm sharing. And so it's vulnerable, not that I'm sharing anything too crazy, but it is really personal. It's what I'm going through right now. And so I really do hope that it serves you. So I'm not going to go farther. This is long enough in the intro. So take a deep breath. Drop your shoulders, take a sip of water, and let's get into today's episode. So today I want to name out loud what I'm unlearning. And it's not because I have it all figured out. It's because I'm in it and I'm embodying it and I'm practicing every day. So my hunch is, as I said in the intro, if I am unlearning these, I'm sure that you're going through a version of it too, and you might recognize yourself in some of these. So before we go any further, I want to say that unlearning doesn't mean there were mistakes. It doesn't mean there were flaws. It doesn't mean that we had bad beliefs or that what I was believing was wrong ultimately. It's an evolution. It's a journey, right? When you think of the butterfly, it evolves into the butterfly, but it's not like the caterpillar was wrong. It's not like going in the chrysalis was wrong and the butterfly was right. So we have to also realize that too, is we are always on a continuum. And when you look back, we don't want to shame ourselves for what we used to believe. It was our conditioning, it was our trauma, it was our life experiences, and rightly so. And we have the gift of changing the way we see things, unlearning some of the conditioning that doesn't, move us forward. So that's what I am sharing today. And when I really see all these things I'm going to go through, I think there's 7 of them, they were survival strategies and they worked. They were not flaws. They were survival strategies that worked. They protected me. They got me here. And they don't match who I'm becoming, who I truly am, the sparkle inside. They don't even match where I am right now. So it's like as we raise our vibration or we move forward, we get happier, healthier. Sometimes all of a sudden you go like, oh, that's an old belief. That doesn't even fit who I am now. But as I said, they do still come up. There is still a tendency to go into these old ways of being. So anyway, they were never flaws. They got me here. I love them. I'm thankful for the me that got me here, and I'm ready to release a lot. So let's start getting into them. So the first one is I'm unlearning that more is better and that things need to be really complicated. And this one touches every area of my life. So for a long time, I really did believe if I tried harder, if I did more, if I held more. When I first started my business, I did 3 posts a day on Facebook every single day. Every single day. This was like more than 10 years ago. For years. I did it for like 3 or 4 years. I'm not even kidding. More was better in my mind, right? Algorithm and blah, blah, blah. And before we go any further, I've said this before in episodes, there's a slice of truth in everything. I believe in going hard into something that you're passionate about. I believe, yes, there's an algorithm, or, when I'm writing my book, the hours it took. It's not that we don't effort. It's not that we don't try at all. It's catching ourselves when our mentality is like, I have to do more. I have to try harder. I have to hold more. I have to do more. That panicky energy doesn't serve us. I apologize if you can hear my cat's collar. My cat just wandered in here, and instead of closing the door and making a big deal, I'm just going to let her be here. If you hear her collar, that's what's up. Anyway, so I did really believe in every area of my life that trying harder was going to equal better results. And in our brain, we're like, well, yeah, A plus B is C, or 1 plus 1 is 2, or yeah, it just makes sense, right? I had, as a lot of you know, an eating disorder back in the day, more than 15 years ago at this point, but it was in my life for well over a decade and really, truly took me over. And so that was that mentality: more, gym multiple times a day, less carbs, less calories, hardcore, more fasting. Like that ran me into the ground. It ran me into the ground so hard, and it never brought me health, right? So that mentality of I have to do more, hold more, think it through more, plan more. I got to figure it out. I should be posting here. I should be doing this. I should be working out. I should be all that stuff. So what I am unlearning is that more is better and things need to be complicated. But in that, what I am learning, to flip it, is that there is power in simplicity. So if we look at health, it really is simple. Move your body more, eat more earth foods, enjoy yourself. It's just kind of like, it is really simple when we think about it. And sometimes I need to just settle and remember that more is not better. because I've been focusing a lot on safety. I've been focusing a lot on bringing safety into my body. So remembering that more effort doesn't automatically mean more results, or more complexity doesn't necessarily mean better. And in that, more pressure doesn't mean more alignment or more success. For my nervous system, more is overwhelm. So I crashed and burned and learned that. And so again, there's a time and a place to plan, like for this entire weekend, I'm going hard on my book, or, yes, we're mapping out a strategy, but catching yourself when you always feel like you have to do more, or overthink, or overplan, overfunction. So for me personally, I was doing this stuff not because I was incapable, but it's just simplicity feels too simple. It's almost like, no, it has to be more complicated, right? So anyway, for myself, I realized there were a lot of things I was making it harder than they needed to be. And sometimes we wait because we're like, I have to find the perfect plan before I act. I have to find, the perfect exercise plan, or the perfect cleanse plan, or the perfect whatever. Sometimes it doesn't have to be so complicated. So what I'm learning now is less done well is potent. Simplicity lets my body go, Spaciousness brings clarity on moving forward. You guys have seen me over the years, some of you, that the phases of things I've released in my business and done this, that's given me the space to focus and execute a retreat. And now going to be a second retreat and a book. So less $27 workshops for me in my business, and more books, more speaking, more retreat holding, more one-on-one clients, more impact, deeper impact over all the things. I'm in a phase of not trying to sell, $1,007 ebooks a day, which that can work. And I have lots of friends who kick ass in that shit. And I've done that for a long time. And I'm in my business, in my life, in my exercise, in my body, in my schedule, I'm really simplifying. Less done well is potent. All right, so the second thing is, this one's deep, unlearning that I need to put my needs last. So this one is, I catch myself saying, no, I'm fine. Or, oh no, you guys have the last pieces, it's fine, going without. And in the moment, I also think like, I don't really care if I have a cookie or whatever. But I notice there's times when my husband's like, no, you should have one. Like, guys, mom should have one. Let's cut it all up so we can all have, and he'll kind of notice it and say something. And then I have it and I'm like, oh, thanks, that was nice. And it's these subtle moments when, there's big moments as well, but also subtle moments when I just go like, no, it's okay. Or, no, I don't need any water, you can have it, or whatever it is, we're in the car, something. And sometimes it's like, no, wait, my needs matter. And that's been, I've been going through this for years, but I think it's becoming more and more subtle when I say like, no, I'm fine, or, oh, I'll just cancel yoga and because I'll do this. And my husband's like, hang on. No, maybe we could get this person to pick up the kid or whatever. But I'm like, no, I'll just cancel my yoga and, whatever. It's funny. And then I chuckle and I go, you're right, actually. If I can do the yoga, that's best. Let's see what we can do or whatever it is. And I had to learn that it's not selfish. It's not selfish to make sure I'm looking after my needs. Our brain likes to make it all extreme, like we're going to abandon our kids and mom's always gone and pottery classes. And, it's not about that. It's, again, less done potent. So I go to Monday night yoga and it fills me with life. I'm not gone all the time. I'm meeting my needs, right? So that's something I'm really unlearning and learning at the same time, because my needs don't disappear if I ignore them. They actually probably, if I'm going to be honest, turn into resentment, because that's my flavor. I like to, at this phase of my life, I like to make sure that I talk about things, or if something's really bothering me, because I know I'm prone to resentment if I bury it and swallow it, and I don't want that. So, it doesn't lead to good places when I don't honor my needs. I get exhausted. I start feeling numb. I'm more irritated. So unlearning this is showing me my needs matter. And in my own life, it's almost like your body matters, your health matters, taking your vitamins matter, brushing your teeth matters, the way, you work out, like you matter. Your mental, emotional, and physical needs matter. So sometimes in our head, it's like, oh, I should do this, I should do that. But let's strip all that away and just go, your needs matter. If you're a writing person, I just see like, what are your needs, and having categories like in a notebook or something: mental, emotional, physical, spiritual. What do I need? Or what things that can I do that fill my cup in these ways, like mentally, emotionally, spiritually. You could put nature, or, having a mentor, or you could reading books, spending time learning. What fills your cup? And from there, start really going, my needs matter. It's between you and you. And so, yes, in my life, with a business and a side gig and 3 children and a marriage and a crazy life, right? I don't have as much time to do yoga as I will in a few years, or as I did in my 20s. That's fine. It's not really about that. It's less done well, done potent. Because me just shoving my needs aside, that wasn't selflessness. That was actually self-abandonment. And that was something I really learned. So that is something, without apologizing, without justifying, learning that my needs just simply matter. It's not complicated. They just matter, right? I matter. So you matter in your life. You are the one to walk yourself home. And that's something I'm really learning and unlearning. So the next one, this one is, again, it's personal, but unlearning bolting and avoidance. This one is strong but subtle. And my coping strategy, I'll just call it, I'll own it, is bolting, avoiding. And that's what I used to do, to the point where it's hard to stay in a hard conversation. Or if I start feeling misunderstood, I just want to run. I want to like literally throw up the middle finger and be like, F all of you, I'm out. And it's a pattern in my life. So in this era, I'm learning, because I am safe, because I am secure, because I am supported from within and physically in my life, I'm learning to stay. I'm learning to breathe through discomfort. I'm learning to face things. And that's been the last couple years, even things with money, or things, learning to just, in a way, like own my stuff, but with tools. Not just throwing myself into things, not just being like, you have to stay. It's nuanced. So there were times when, like, leaving, checking out, numbing, removing myself, like that was just the safest thing to do. And that's just what I had to do, right? Again, like all the other ones, we have compassion for that. There is a time to step away, take a deep breath. If you're overstimulated, if you're flooded, overwhelmed, it's okay. Take a deep breath, come back into your body, use some tools, some self-resourcing, and then going back safely, maybe establishing boundaries, or just coming back to the conversation and saying, okay, I was getting overwhelmed. Can we continue talking about this? That's okay. Just staying and forcing yourself to stay can sometimes be re-traumatizing. But for me right now, what I'm really noticing is coming back into my body, staying centered, and just noticing that reaction when I want to just like bolt. And just reminding myself, I'm safe, I'm okay, I'm here, I'm now, I'm safe. Or if I'm avoiding something, avoiding a conversation, avoiding looking at a bank account, avoiding, whatever it is, getting back to somebody or booking something, because I'll even do it when it's good things. I used to notice back in the day, and I can catch myself doing it now, where if there's like an opportunity in my inbox, I'm like avoiding answering it. Or something I do that drives my family crazy, when I get a parcel, I don't open it like for a while, and it's not a while in time always, but I don't want it to be rushed. I don't want everyone to be like there. Like it depends on what it is, but I just kind of like to sit and open and appreciate. I don't like to just quickly rip it open and shove the box aside. And so sometimes if my life is crazy, there's a package at the door, I'm going out the door, driving a kid here, there. Sometimes it could be a couple days and my family's like, what's in that? I'm like, it's just clothes or it's books or it's something. Anyway, that's maybe not even this, but when I do notice that I'm avoiding something, I come back into my body, I regulate, and, I come back to the situation. And I think that's the key. What I'm unlearning is leaving and never coming back, avoiding, almost like having the feeling of like, I'm just going to avoid that bill till it goes away, and like it doesn't go away. And so in this era of all the things, I'm really learning being with discomfort, breathing through discomfort, because that would be something emotional comes up or something triggering, and I'm all of a sudden on my phone. I'm all of a sudden like, I want to smoke a joint. I'm all of a sudden like, I need to get away. And that noticing of like, oh, that is the place where I've decided that it's okay to experience it. And I feel like in 2025, I really, really practiced that. I was so present with my pain, and it was so very painful emotionally and all the things, physically as well. But I was so present with it. I don't need to run from this. I don't need to hide from this. I can hold myself through it. And that's really, the even deeper layer of my story and my era of this. So healing for me has been learning I can step away and then return. Or I can stay, I can breathe, I can regulate, I can stay connected, stay safe in the nervous system. And that's been a huge one for me. Okay, number 4, learning that I need to rush. And I know some of you can definitely relate to this. This one has been a huge one that I still see every single day, and I'm unlearning, all the time. So I rush when I do everything. I eat fast, I move fast, I think fast. It's like, I don't know. It's like everything I do, sometimes I'm doing the dishes and I'm going so fast that I'm like, holy crap, Talia, slow down. Like you're going to break something. And my husband is the opposite. He's so grounded. And in that, he has this very patient energy. And there's so many times where I'm like, okay, come on, like drive faster. Or, like we got to hurry up. Or like you're cooking you're cutting the onion slow. And it's like, I'm laughing at myself. I notice that tendency. I eat faster than anyone at the table. But something I learned in 2025, just in my further exploration of my own healing and the nervous system, I learned that that's a trauma response. That is an activated nervous system feeling like you have to rush. So when my husband, bless him, is grounded and present and patient, I'm like, oh my God, come on, hurry up. We gotta go, right? Like grab your gloves, we gotta go. We're supposed to be there, right? And so when I started noticing this more, when I became aware of it. And then I noticed that when I'm rushing, my breathing is rushing and my thoughts are rushing and my body is tight. And that is definitely a nervous system stress response. So also remembering, and I've known this piece for years, but we conveniently forget when we're going through things, but rushing is also not intuition. Right? Like there's of course a time when you're like, we got to get to the airport. And in that type of situation, you want to be like effective and like, yes. And there's times, you're moving or anytime you're rushing, that's fine. If you have to rush for time, of course. But I think you get what I mean. When you're eating fast and doing that, the dishes and brushing my teeth sometimes, I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to make my gums bleed if I brush like hard and fast. It's like, okay, calm down, chill. That urgency, that hypervigilance is a trauma response. So now I practice all the time, whether I'm in my car and I'm not stressed at all, or I catch myself in this like slowing my breath, softening my shoulders, reminding myself it's okay, relax, release, right? Even just if I'm driving and I still got to get there, drop the shoulders, we will get there. Really trying to slow myself down. And sometimes I find I'm on a walk and it's not like a fitness walk. It's just, for pleasure, just a fun walk. And I'll be rushing, but not really. I'm like, I got to get home, but for what? Like, oh, the dishes and I got to get dinner. And sometimes I just notice I'm just rushing. It's like, but you know what? If I slow down, and this is actually a practice that I was taught that starts to rewire the nervous system, is actually intentionally slow walking. So when you slow walk, it really just gives the body, we are not in a rush. Think of that energy of like strolling, and maybe even you've been on vacation and like you're not in a rush. You're maybe meandering through a trail or whatever it is where you've just moved slow. That is such a peaceful place. So of course there's a time for a run or for exercise. That's something different, but I urge you to try. Urge is weird. I don't really use that word, but anyway, I suggest that you try this sometimes. Even if you're on your walk, just take 15 seconds or 2 minutes to slow down. So that's been a really big one for me. Slowing down when I'm eating, slowing down how I'm breathing, noticing, like even yesterday I was picking up my daughter and I felt this urgency to get to the address. And it was like, I said I'd be there at 5:30, but it's not. Like she's at a friend's house and there's nowhere even to go, but my shoulders are tense and it's like 5:34 and I'm like 6 minutes away. Oh gosh. But like, she doesn't care. She probably wants to hang out with her friends longer. And I didn't even have anywhere to go. So it's those moments where it's like the mom was cool, we were texting, it was fine. Why am I panicking, And that for me is this thing I'm actively relearning. Okay, I'm safe right now. Chill, Talia. We're going to take a breath. We're safe. We're good. So that's a big one. Okay, number 5 is unlearning that I'm alone. And this one does go deep. I'm not going to go too emotional because I didn't plan for this one to be as deep as it is, but it's truth, it's vulnerability. But unlearning that I'm alone. And that again is just trauma response and my own experiences in my life. But I really started noticing in 2025 and actively now that even when I'm supported, even when I know, there's this person that loves me, there's this person that loves me, there's this person who supports me, there's still a quiet belief under everything saying, I have to do this myself. Taking the weight of the world on my shoulders is really what it feels like. And that's the thing I'm unlearning is, unlearning that I have to do it alone and going like, hey, while you're out, could you grab this at the store? Because I was going to, instead of I'll just do it, kind of like putting my needs aside. It's that I have to carry everything all at once. I have to carry everything alone. Asking for support is like inconveniencing people or like, I don't want to be annoying or whatever it is. And I'm really unlearning that. Like I'm not alone, even if it's in my family or with my partner, with my husband, it's like I can say, hey, can you help with the kids on Thursday? Because I actually just noticed, and he'll be like, yeah, sure. Whatever it is, at least I could ask. I'm not alone in this. Sometimes I feel like that and I have to figure it out and it's all on my shoulders. And I again breathe and remind myself that there are people around and support is part of the healing. I once heard in my nervous system work that trauma happens in isolation. It's when you feel alone. It's when you feel rejected. It's when you feel scared. It's when you feel unsafe. And that's a sense of aloneness. Healing happens with other. And that one really hit me. I was like, whoa, healing happens in community or with somebody, that's helping you with something, even if it's a massage or if it's a mentor or if it's a therapist or, healing happens when we feel connected, when we feel supported, when we feel loved. And that's a big one for me in this journey. That's going to be my whole lifetime. That's a big one, but I'm definitely learning that I don't have to carry everything alone and unlearning that burden, that weight of the world, like just relax, release the shoulders. You're not alone in this, whether it's spiritually, physically, and that's a big one for me right now. Okay, number 6, I'm unlearning that I'm too sensitive, too different, too woo-woo. A lot of you I know have felt like I'm too sensitive. Maybe you've been told that since you were a kid. And for a long time, it's like I tried to be less sensitive, less intuitive, be more normal, be more digestible, just kind of like just be surface level, like be cool, And I was always feeling like I felt the energy in the room and why am I so weird and all this stuff. And I'm unlearning that. I also have a lot more tools so I can handle myself a lot better than I used to be able to because I am on this evolution and learning and growing, right? But I'm unlearning that my sensitivity is a flaw or that I'm weird or different. It's that I want to say I perceive life differently than others, but I think every single one of us does. And that's the part. I'm not different because we all are. So everybody, I believe almost in everything is on spectrums of one or the other, meaning you have a strength over here, but this is a part that is challenging for you, or you have a natural gift over there, but like this part is again, more challenging. And we're all different mixes of different things. Our brains all work different. Our gifts all work different. So I am who I am. I've been drawn to spirituality and spirit, and I've been a channel forever. I do perceive things. My senses are heightened. I am a highly sensitive person. I am an empath. I am these things. But as I, again, learn the tools and become more resourced, I also release the feeling of being too much because I am what I am and you are what you are. If you love to wear only orange, or if you have a loud laugh, or if you're an intuitive weirdo channel like me, or you love to geek out on something and you're so different, let's not hide who we are. You are who you are, and it's what's meant to be. In the book, I use the analogy of the patchwork quilt, and every patch on the quilt is so different. There's stripes, there's polka dots, there's paisleys, there's all these different patterns. And if they started looking at each other and comparing, like, why does she have dots? Like, oh, they have stripes. Like, I'm a blank square. Mine's just blue. But when you back up and look at the whole quilt, it was all on purpose. And that's what it really is. So I'm not too much. I'm not too sensitive. I'm not too different. I can actually almost again practice the tools to deal with those feelings when they come up, because I'm not like anybody else, but either are you, and either is my neighbor Dave, and either is anybody, right? We are not different, and we all are different. That's the wisdom. Okay, the last thing that I am unlearning is that everything is either mental or figure outable, or if this isn't working, it's because of this step. So for example, if my business isn't working, it's because of the algorithm. What should I post on Instagram? What should I do? What should I do to, lure the people in, which is the slimy part of like business and marketing. It's like, we got to get leads, get clients. I've joked about that before. Like we're trying to catch them with a net or something. And in the past, if I felt like, I wasn't growing the community or people weren't signing up for this thing, it's like, okay, I'm doing something wrong. And so I need to do something different. So it's unlearning that if I'm not getting results in some way, I need to do something different. Because the part that I'm learning is that so much of it for me now is physiological. It used to be more emotional and energetic, and everything was like, where's the emotional root of this? And what is this, how does this relate to my past life? But I feel like as me personally, as I evolve, I realize more about the body and sinking into the here and now and being with myself. So I'm learning that if things are going quote unquote wrong or sticky or congested, a lot of times the patterns live in the body. The nervous system is reacting, and we need to learn how to come back into that, come back into I'm okay, I'm safe. And from that place, we gain further clarity. So just, it's like unlearning that tendency to fix what is broken. I want to say quote unquote, but we perceive something as not working, we have to fix it. But remembering to come back into the body, remembering to breathe. Often it's our energy, or if we don't know what to do next, it's that stress response, it's that panic, and we're acting and we're looking for the plan and we're trying to do. So we don't have to rush. We don't have to overdo. Moving from the doing to the being. So I think that's how I want to phrase number 7. These are all written out in my notepad, so not all of it is perfect yet, but it's unlearning that the doing is more important than the being, because everything has changed as I've learned how to be in my body. So if I were to sum this all up as we wrap up this episode, this season of my life isn't just about more. It's about being more true, more authentic, being more grounded in myself, centered in myself, making decisions from that place, looking after myself from that place. And these things that I'm unlearning, again, were never wrong. They were intelligent, and I respect them, the responses. That's funny to say, but they were intelligent responses from a nervous system that was trying to stay safe. But because now I can help do that, I can be the one to walk myself home and use these tools, I realize that safety doesn't come from doing more, rushing harder, overfunctioning, abandoning myself, or any of these other things. Safety comes from slowing down, simplifying, listening to the body, allowing ourselves to be supported as we go. Unlearning is quiet work. It's subtle. It's totally in the micro moments. That's the biggest thing. When I'm eating fast, how quickly I say, sure, I'll cancel yoga, or staying present, checking out, all of a sudden being on my phone. It's these micro moments. And the more that I bring safety into my body, the less I need old survival strategies to run the show. And I really do believe that all this work with the safety in the body has been a huge part of my recent random releasing of weight and having less pain and feeling totally different in my body when nothing else has changed. This has been, everything's changed, but meaning I'm not like doing Pilates Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I've got the perfect green juice. It's been a complete lightening up, as I shared in that episode. And these things are the things that I'm subtly shifting over and over, and they bring more light in. When I slow down and appreciate my food, when I stay present and walk myself through it, the power that comes from that is immeasurable. I don't even know how to describe it. So I hope that this resonated with you. Thank you so much for listening today. And if this is calling you, I hugely urge you to get on the retreat waitlist, because this next retreat, as I've been saying, we're going warm, we're going tropical, we're going healing, and it's all about this, dropping into the body to access the spirit, to access the clarity, to access the next level, the what's within you to be received. And it's going to be so powerful, from nourishing food to therapy in many different ways, meaning water and sun and nature and connection and meditation. It's going to be so beautiful. I would love to hug you in person. Oh my goodness, get on the retreat waitlist. You will get the best price and the first opportunity. So yes. And other than that, get my book. I would be so honored. Thank you so much for the support. And if you want to come find me on Instagram, if we're not already friends, the link for all of these things, plus the Instagram and all the things, is below. All right, have a fantastic day. Try to get your face in the sunshine if you can. And I'll see you in the next episode.